see me fail and don't think I can sell. I'm displaying my creations of art, they show and tell. I know that hell's trying to block my trail. I lock myself into my room to fuse together this music that's got to smell success and positive vibes the rest of my life. I plan to help the fail through bad vibes. I lift blinds to show and expose minds. My golden balls can show your soul how to shine and hold it on the guard on life's ride. So follow me, I'll take the lead. This industry is in some need of someone to show you what's free, and that's me. I see I'm hitting from a distance. Every sentence I'm spitting, I'm giving sense like Jesus speaking repentance. I minister when it's pennant, the title's mine. Dirty rice writes with whole hearts. These other rappers write ties. That's 10%, that's 90 left to give. So do the math and watch my path as I show you how to live. For all I'm about to spit and already did. It seems these people making plans to try to stop the kid. But dog, it's obvious, cause I must win. You can't stop it, do the math, it's not happening. For all I'm about to spit and already did. It seems these people making plans to try to stop the kid. But dog, it's obvious, cause I must win. You can't stop it, do the math, it's not happening.
It is hour number 3 of the Doug Stewart Show. Welcome back. Yeah. All right. So it is a fantastic, freaky, funny football Friday. But also, man, a lot of college basketball talk. This weekend, man, the Final Four. So you've got North Carolina taking on Oregon. And you've also got the South Carolina Gamecocks taking on the Gonzaga Bulldogs, man. And we thought it'd be good to have a Gamecock insider on the show, former player for the South Carolina Gamecocks, scored over 1,000 points in his career. The great Joe Rett joins me on the Doug Stewart Show. Joe, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm doing great right now, man. It's great to be a Gamecock, and I appreciate you having me on talking South Carolina basketball.
Man, no problem. You actually played at South Carolina during the era that I went to college. So you played for the Gamecocks between like 89 and 93, right?
Absolutely. Those times, my first 3 years, we were playing in the Metro Conference, playing against Louisville, Memphis, Southern Miss, and all those schools. And my senior year from 91 to 92, that's when we were introduced into the SEC. So I was part of that first program to play in the SEC that year in 92.
Now, it's funny you mentioned the Metro Conference. We're going to get to this basketball here in a second in your Gamecocks. But it's funny you mentioned Metro Conference. I talked about it a couple of weeks ago. So you guys played in the Metro Conference against Virginia Tech, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah, Virginia Tech was a really good team. With I think Bimbo Coles, They had a really, really good team back then. Hell yeah.
Right, Bimbo Coles. My cousin John Rivers, I don't know if you remember John Rivers.
I know John very well, yes. We came out of school together, played against him a lot in high school.
Right. So you went to Eau Claire High School, which is in Columbia, South Carolina. And that was during the era of Stanley Roberts, right?
Absolutely. Those were the days when both of the Stanleys in our junior, senior year, where we couldn't play our regular games in the local gyms because they couldn't hold us. So we had to play those games at the Frank McGuire Arena back then. That place hold 11,000, 12,000. And I've heard that many people that could not get in because that was such a big draw back in those days.
Wow.
Eau Claire versus Lower Richmond, my man.
Eau Claire versus Lower Richmond. Talking to Joe Rett right now, former Gamecock on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Phenomenal what the Gamecocks, the men, have done. this year, obviously making it to the Final Four for the first time in school history. You look at the women and Dawn Staley and the job that she's doing. Talk about the men. Let's talk about the men for a little bit, man, and what Frank Martin has done. South Carolina is a football school. We all know that, man, but the basketball program has just done a tremendous job this year, and it all starts with Frank Martin.
It does. Frank came in here 5 years ago with a vision, and his vision was to possibly win the SEC tournament and possibly, go from there. He wanted to put this team and put this program back in the NCAA tournament, and not just get back, but he wanted to get in there and win some games. Did we see us winning 4 straight games? Absolutely not. But if you think about, you see the body of work that he's done, this class that he brought in, his first full recruiting class with Sindarius Stonewell, who is taking over the NCAA tournament. You got a Dwayne Notice who's the senior, and also Justin Maggott, who's the son of the great B.J. Maggott, one of the greatest Gamecocks in history. But he put this team together, and these guys bought into what Frank was selling, and that was playing on the biggest stage. And then, he has a little resume. When he was at Kansas State, he took several teams there to the NCAA tournament and had some successful wins. But to see the progression and to see how this team has developed over the past years, I'm being here, seeing how these guys working and putting in the work every day, getting out in the community, reaching back to the former players right now. It's just a total package, and it's just a blessing to see how well this team and see how far this team has come over the past 4 to 5 years.
Talking to Joe Rett right now on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media Entertainment Network. At what point this season they'd played good all year long, had a couple of letdowns, but at what point in this season did you think that this team maybe not make it to the Final Four, but they'd make some noise in the tournament?
Once they got in, I was fortunate to be part of the watch party when they got the invite, and they saw that they had a favorable matchup and playing even closer home in Greenville. And they played against that Marquette team. We knew that we had a good chance. We knew it was a good shooting team, but we knew without defense and how we like to pressure the ball and how to pressure the shooters, we knew that we had a chance. And honestly, once we got past that and we got to that Duke game, the second round of Duke game, and how we beat them and how we saw that our pressure also affected the team, one of the greatest coaches of all time, Coach K, to see that Frank Martin and his team to pull out a victory against that really good Duke team. That's when I saw. I said, this team is on a special run. They're going to be the underdog throughout this whole tournament, but this team they don't see it that way. They keep fighting. You got a lot of great teams, a lot of talented teams that was in this tournament. But I'll tell you this: there's no team out there, even right now in this Final Four, that have more heart than this South Carolina team. And I think that's one of the things that we are hanging our hat on. We just play with tremendous heart. We believe every night. We don't listen to all the pundits out there saying that we're the underdog. We don't listen to all the critics out there. We just going out there, telling them the task at hand and doing what we need to do. And once we do that, we've also been giving ourselves opportunities to win.
Finishing up with Joe Rett, former South Carolina Gamecock insider, here on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Talk about the Sindarius Stonewell kid, man, burst on the scene. Had a phenomenal year, SEC Player of the Year, but in the tournament averaging over 25 points a game. There's been some question about this kid at the next level, and will he have a good career in the NBA, or will he even make it to the NBA? What are your thoughts about Sindarius Stonewell at the next level?
I don't want to sound biased because I've seen this kid for 4 years. This is a kid that he played at Oak Hill, one of the most prestigious high schools on this side of the country, and he had a good career there. He had a lot of offers from so many different schools. He chose to come to South Carolina, and we appreciate him for that. And now you see that, he's labored his first couple years, had a couple injuries. But as far as on the pro level, you got to be crazy if you don't take this kid. I mean, you see the body of work that he's done. You see what he's doing on the biggest stage. Is he a senior? Absolutely. Yes, he is a senior. But, sometimes the NBA shuns away from guys. If you're not the one and done, they don't want to give you a chance. But, hey, this guy has done it. He's done it against some of the best teams in the SEC. You see what he's doing right now, these past 4 games. He's put this team on his put this team on his shoulders and carried them so far, and hopefully carry them to 2 more victories. But is he a pro? Absolutely. I think somebody should give this kid a chance. The one thing that I like about him, he plays on both ends. He plays both ends tremendously well. He's a leader. He does so many. He just pads the stat sheets every night. He give you 25, 6 rebounds, a couple steals. He just do so many different things for a team that I don't see why no NBA team would not give this guy a chance to be a part of any NBA organization right now.
Finishing up with Joe Rett right now on the Doug Stewart Show on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. All right, let's get some predictions. Let's first start with Oregon and North Carolina. Clearly, you're familiar with the program being from the Carolinas. What are your thoughts on the number 3 Oregon Ducks taking on the number 1 North Carolina Tar Heels?
Well, Oregon's not a really, really big team. They're very athletic. They like to get out and run and get out and shoot the ball really quick. They just don't have the size, I think, to compete with North Carolina. And one of the things that North Carolina does very well, and that is offensive rebound and rebound the ball well. Even when their shots are not going well, they somehow take advantage and use their height against the boys. So I think that game will be close in the first half, but in the second half, I truly believe that North Carolina's size will wear this Oregon athletic team down.
Yeah, you're talking about Kennedy Meeks and Isaiah Hicks down in the paint. I agree with you 100%. And give me your thoughts. I mean, try to separate yourself from being, Joe Rett, former Gamecock. How do you think this thing's going to play out between the Bulldogs and the Gamecocks this weekend?
Well, I can need to separate myself. This South Carolina team is just on a different little roll right now. Our defensive pressure has been off the charts right now. And to add to that, our offense has been clicking as well. So I don't think this Gonzaga's team has ever seen ball pressure the way we've been doing it. They can put 7, 8 different people out there in practice to try to duplicate what we do, but there's you just don't understand it until you're out there playing. And you've seen Marquette, you've seen Duke, you've seen Baylor, you've seen Florida. We played those teams and made them very uncomfortable, and somehow every game in the second half, our defensive pressure just wear these teams out. We try to take the initial pass. We try to push these guys further and further away from their comfort zone, and eventually, like in the second half, they're not catching the ball where they normally catch. They're catching further from the 3-point line and having to take tougher shots, and people don't realize that. But our defensive pressure is definitely going to wear them out, and I think that once again, that will be the one thing that will take this Gonzaga team out, and that's our defensive pressure.
Yeah, when I came in on Monday, I said that it reminded me of Arkansas back in the day with Nolan Richardson, 40 minutes of hell. Like, the ball pressure is just crazy and has been crazy over the last couple of weeks. So yeah. I'm telling you, man, I feel the same way. I think we might get an all-Carolinas final, man. It's like you've died and gone to heaven if you're a basketball fan from the state of South Carolina. I think it's going to happen. Hey, Joe, thank you for the time, brother.
Hey, appreciate you having me on, my man. Thanks.
There he is, Joe Rett, former South Carolina Gamecock insider, analyst. Yeah. So this weekend, man, you got the Final Four, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. You got the Final Four, man. You got the South Carolina Gamecocks taking on the Gonzaga Bulldogs. And you've also got the North Carolina Tar Heels taking on Oregon, as we've mentioned a couple times already today. I think that this thing is setting up, man, to be an all-Carolina finals. A lot of people are not giving Carolina the benefit of the doubt and looking at the games that they played already in this tournament, man. They've already beat Duke. I said this earlier this week, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. They advanced to the Final Four as a 7th seed in the East. Some people calling them a Cinderella, but they shouldn't. Coming from the SEC, man, they played tough teams all year long. The combination of high-scoring senior guard Sandara Stornwell and the wear-you-down defense of the Gamecocks, man, they knocked off number 2 Duke, number 3 Baylor, and number 4 Florida in the East. The Gamecocks, like Gonzaga, will be appearing in their first Final Four when the game tips off on Saturday at 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time in Glendale, Arizona. Here's a quote from Frank Martin, the head coach. "We're defending at a high clip again, which is allowing us to get out in the open court and get opportunities. And our inside play has gotten good again. It kind of disappeared on us there the last month of the season, but our inside guys have played well in the NCAA